So I just wanted to let you know Joel Skousen's going to be on the show in the next couple of weekends. I'm not sure exactly which date, I don't remember, but it will be soon in October. And if you don't know Joel Skousen, he's the editor of World Affairs Brief. He's been on Alex's show many times and other YouTube channels besides ours. But mostly, you know, the ones I've seen anyway is where he gives relatively short presentations, and he's got an amazing background. He's I think he was a Marine pilot in the around Vietnam era, and he's got a lot of great connections inside higher levels of government and industry to help him know, you know, deep insights into what's going on. And I wanted to give him a platform because he seemed to me one of those real teachers who could teach us something about parts of history and current events and things that we wouldn't normally get. So I invited him to come on Lost Arts Radio and do a longer presentation than he usually is allowed to do, and really go back a little bit in time and bring up some historical context that makes it easier to have a deeper understanding of what's going on in current events. And he said, sure, he'd like to do that. So that's going to happen this month, soon, on one of the Sunday shows. Watch for it. Now, I think you'll really get a lot out of it. I asked him, in fact, I thought it would be good if he'd do a series because he's got more than would fit in one show comfortably. And he said, sure. So watch for the first installment, episode 1. It'll be on soon. And oh, also because it's a series, and we'll have some time, you know, with him coming back multiple times to get the whole picture painted that he's really able to see, and he's bringing his experience of many decades to bear on understanding where the world's going now and what can be done to make things better, which is my main interest. There's time for you guys to send in suggested questions or comments or things that you'd like him to cover, you know, stuff like that, and I'll give them to him, and anything that he feels like he can do justice to and has time for, he'll do. So send questions in, richard@lostartsradio.com, and I'll give all of them to Joel. Should be fun. I think, you know, exciting when I run into somebody like that that's willing to take the time and give us the benefit of his incredible experience and insight. So that's the main thing I wanted to tell. I've actually got 3 messages that I wanted to give you today, but I'm not going to cram them into one video, so you can just watch for a few minutes and see one, and then see another one when you have time. This one's about Joel. And oh, get on the mailing list if you can at lostartsradio.com, and just go to the main site there. And we're not really using it for anything, as I've said before. We're just gathering names and email addresses so that if we get cut off on some of the major platforms that you usually find us on, that then we can embed videos or get other information to you through the mailing list if you'd like us to do that. And it doesn't cost any money or anything. So look at lostartsradio.com and you can find the mailing list over there. Also, planetaryhealingclub.com. We're still meeting every week on the private platform for people that want to get deeper into a discussion of the health issues and consciousness issues and life issues and things that I've been really doing a lot of deep research on since the 60s. And I can share it with you more freely in the private platform because it's not as subject to censorship, and it's interactive. So I'll be there live every Saturday, and if you want to be part of that, there's an access point at planetaryhealingclub.com. And if you have questions about it, just email me, richard@lostartsradio.com. I'll try to answer whatever you're not sure about, whether it would be a good idea to do. And it's wide open as far as what we cover. Anything in the health field, nothing forbidden medical stuff. I can't do diagnoses. I'm not a medical doctor or treatment or anything like that. But the information that I've dug deeply into about starting in the 1960s, quite a while ago, about how you can affect aging and degenerative disease and immunity without chemical interventions and drugs and vaccines and stuff like that. We can talk about any of that, and that brings us right into areas of consciousness, because what you find out, I went really deeply into what was known thousands of years ago and how to take care of these things when there was no question of drugs or any of that stuff. And I've adapted a lot of that to use in present time, but a lot of it centers around changing details of your everyday life, not just what you eat and drink and smoke and drugs and sunlight exposure and exercise patterns, sleep patterns. All that stuff is really what determines a lot of what happens to you health-wise. And if you want to change those things for the better, what you run into immediately is habits and addictions that won't let you change what you're doing. And so I've had to develop consciousness tools that will let you do that without the need for all that willpower. So if you want to talk about that and become your own healer and learn some of the things that you can do that you won't hear from conventional channels or usual education, then you're invited if you want to be part of it. LostArtsRadio.com and particularly PlanetaryHealingClub.com. That's where you can get into the private interactive group that's once a week. And then there's homework if you want to work on it, and it just gives you ideas of how to develop certain abilities that have been forgotten for a long time and are really just our normal state, but we're far from our normal state right now, and we can get back to it. That's the whole point. And then if you get back to that, you can be more of a help to the rest of the world, which is in some pretty serious trouble at the moment, you may have noticed. So anyway, that's your invitation, and we have a new Subscribe Star page if anybody has money and wants to help us survive and keep doing this work and the research that I'm still doing 24/7. And especially, if you have significant capital and you're a friendly billionaire and you want to help us and allow us to build the school that is one of the goals that we're moving toward when money allows, then check out our page at subscribestar.com/LostArtsRadio. Or if you're not sure about, some aspect of what we're doing and you want to talk about it, or if you're a larger donor and you have questions and want to know whether it's appropriate, just write to me, Richard@LostArtsRadio.com. If this is supposed to happen, it'll get to the right people, and even if it's $1 a month or something that you'd like to help, the energy behind that is this huge supportive influence, and it's deeply appreciated. And if you're struggling for money and can't buy food and stuff, please don't donate anything, because I want you to use it to be okay in your own life. Some people have a lot of money, and a few of those really care about using it for something beneficial, so I'd like to talk to those people if they show up. Anyway, that's about it. Mainly I wanted to invite you to Joel's upcoming show and to send in questions. And if you want to know a little more about Joel and you're not familiar with his work, you can go to worldaffairsbrief.com. And he said that if you write to editor, like the editor of a newspaper or something, editor at worldaffairsbrief.com, you can ask him for a free sample copy of his newsletter, see the kind of thing that he's working on. Might be interesting to you. I think that's about it. So hope everything's going well for you, and I look forward to seeing you soon, and I'll put the next section of what I wanted to share with you on the next video. Talk to you in a while.